At the palace banquet, the girl fell in love with the handsome prince at first sight, but her appearance caught the emperor's attention. He mistook her for the beloved one he had lost, and immediately issued a decree to bring her into the palace. In this way, the young girl was forced to marry the elderly man. When her wedding veil was lifted, the emperor was greatly shocked, and soon realized he had made a mistake while drunk. He didn't touch her. Instead, he drank the wedding wine guiltily, telling her to go to sleep in peace. The next day, the emperor granted her the title of noble consort as compensation. He added that given her young age, she could be free from rigid etiquette and live here as she liked. The girl was very grateful, but considering it was her first day in the palace, she decided to pay respects to the empress as custom required. However, she was unfamiliar with the palace routes and thus arrived half an hour late, upsetting the other consorts. A scheming consort ordered her to kneel outside as punishment for the entire day. Under the scorching heat, the girl soon felt exhausted. Just as she was about to faint, the prince appeared and carried her in his arms. A maid tried to stop him, saying the girl couldn't leave without completing the punishment, but the prince was firm and took her back to the chambers to rest. The emperor rushed over anxiously. Learning the prince had saved the girl, he highly praised the prince's kindness. He then recalled that at the palace banquet, the prince had mentioned falling in love at first sight with a young lady. He asked for her name, intending to grant the prince a marriage with her, but the prince changed his attitude and declined, insisting he did not want to bring trouble to her. After he left, the girl woke up. The emperor comforted her, saying he had severely punished the scheming consort. Out of deep guilt, he promised to send her away from the palace soon. However, a month later, the girl received the news that the emperor had passed away due to illness. She went to the funeral to pay her respects, but suddenly, the scheming consort broke in with guards and arrested her. The scheming consort declared that all childless consorts must be buried with the emperor. She then took out the wine and silk. Many consorts fainted on the spot, and the girl was no exception. Seeing this, her father urgently summoned the imperial physician, requesting he examine the girl first. To everyone's shock, the physician announced that she was 1 month pregnant. It turned out that the girl's father had once saved the imperial physician's life. To repay this kindness, the imperial physician falsified the pregnancy to save the girl. However, lies would eventually be exposed. They had to make it come true as soon as possible. Therefore, the girl's father went to kneel before the prince and proposed a deal. He promised that as long as the prince was willing to save his daughter, he would fully support the prince in fighting for the throne. Late at night, the girl returned to her palace, only to see the prince lounging lazily and drinking wine. He stood up and approached her slowly, and the first thing he said was actually calling her mother consort.